Welcome to
another episode of Life with the Sloans.
Life with the Sloans. So today's topic, we're going to talk about some of the future investments and some horror stories that we've heard about couples that have gotten stuck. So what do you want to start with? Cars or home ownership? Or
let's talk about home ownership.
All right, let's do that then. Let's do that. So we have, over the past several years, we've heard some horror stories about couples that are trying to move forward and purchase their homes, whether it be not being able to qualify for a mortgage or, last minute debt that's getting popped. Is that the kind of part we got? Okay. All right.
Whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
Don't mind if you do. For some of the challenges with home ownership. So what do you remember horror story wise that sticks out the most to you?
People getting stuck.
Valid.
People getting stuck.
Yep.
When they're building a house. Too, when they're buying a house that somebody had that was older.
You scabbed over top of it.
Yeah, the electrical work.
Yeah.
All that crazy stuff.
Yeah, we're fortunate enough to have a couple of friends that are investors and kind of
real estate people
and real estate folks and realtors.
Flippers, all that crazy.
Not the kind you swim with. The ones
not
that flip properties, like Property Brothers.
Property Brothers. Love that show.
Yeah, she's an HGTV guru.
I can watch it all day. That's my thing.
Not me. Quite depressing, actually.
No, I like
it. So one of the biggest things is people getting scammed, like she was saying. We've heard of stories where, matter of fact, I talked to a banker earlier this week, and they were telling me that one of the guys that was doing a certain type of new construction build, he had gone through 2 contractors who had both received down payments and had done absolutely no work.
Oh my God.
So he was almost 2 years in the process and had nothing, not even plans. It's bad. She was like, yeah, in my line of work, I see it way too often.
That's the problem though. Why would you see it way too often?
I'm like, you're in banking. What do you mean? You see it often? You work for a bank. Why would you see it often? Oh,
I don't understand why there wouldn't be any kind of red flags that would go up, since if they see this often, it's almost saying like we don't care.
Well, I think it's not different from a lot of the other stuff. Like, there isn't like an insurance company that reports to everybody. So like they don't report to the mortgage company and make sure that they're mitigating risk. They don't
so the communication is like gaps in the communication.
Right. Communication, and then it's like everything's on the earnest of the person that's actually soliciting the service. Like it's not on the contract, it's not on the bank. You're the person that brought this contractor to me, or you're the person that signed this contract, or all this other stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like,
you know what I've seen too? I've seen some of these horror stories with these contractors. They got this great idea probably to, flip houses, build houses, whatever that they're doing. And they're hiring all kinds of people that they don't even know. It's just because they can do a skill, supposedly. Maybe they found them on Craigslist. I don't know. Maybe they found them on Pinterest. I don't know. I don't even know if you can find people on Pinterest. But you can find people on Pinterest.
You can.
You lying?
Yeah, because they put up their business cards and some of their
Really?
Yep.
Okay, look, I thought I was making that up. Anyway, so we find people on Craigslist, Pinterest. What else they find you on?
Facebook.
Facebook's a big one. So,
it used to
but
be
you don't know these people. You don't know these people. They getting these contracts. They get all this money, get approved, and all this stuff, and they have no idea who the crew is because they don't even know the crew.
And then
they can't vouch for their work because they're just basing off the pictures that they showed them. What are they basing on? Because is it hard to get certified?
I don't know if there's a certification.
And some don't even have a certificate. I can't.
Well, here's the thing. Like, at the end of the day, when you're doing anything with building, obviously there's certain codes and standards that have to be applied, and that's more on a larger scale. Code is basically the minimum. It's like when you go and you purchase a car that has the base package.
Right.
That's the lowest you can get.
Your basic.
That's what code is.
Limited.
You can exceed code, as in like you can do better than code. So you can move up in class from, the base model to, XLT model, and then to sports model.
Right, whatever.
But code is the very minimum. And what a lot of people have been saying is that the work that's being done in some of these properties are done by people that have a skill that is minimal.
Right.
It's not.
Or some of these developers, and I'm not going to say no names, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about because y'all know y'all seen the article. I ain't going to say the name. Don't say no names.
I'm not saying no names. But I want
y'all know y'all seen this article. And this a very famous builder developer. I ain't saying no names, but start with the letter R. Anyway, y'all knew who it was because it just popped in your head and they skimping on these builds. So y'all better pray.
So this is true story. I have a couple friends, or we have a couple friends that were looking to do new development builds, right? And they came in and they were in the initial first phase. So most building phases is 3 phase, first, second, third. Mm-hmm. They came in and started looking at the homes in the first phase, which is when they really put the best foot forward. They get to, people. But what happens is in between each of these phases, to kind of cut costs back and to recoup some money, a lot of the developers will solicit or they'll rebid for the next phase. So the group that's doing they rebid it because you're basically submitting a request. Okay. You're saying I need a builder that can do XYZ basically. Mm-hmm. So in between each of these phases, it might not be the same crew that was working on the first phase or in the third phase.
I thought people don't want to work over top of other people's work. Is it? Well, no, it's not really working different. On someone's work. It's like picking up the next part.
No, it's different. Let me re-explain it. So the houses that are built in the first phase, let's say it's a development of 30 homes. The first 10 homes.
Oh, the first town, like say we've done townhomes. Yeah, so the first 10 townhomes.
First 10 townhomes are built by that same crew. They bid it out saying, here's the number of houses we have. Right. Then what happens is as they get towards the end of that, they'll rebid it to see if there's a better offer. So the people that finished that first 10, 1 through 10, might not be the same people that finished 11 through 20.
So a better offer meaning like the contractors that you're bidding into to see if they'll take lesser pay? So
well, you can get more profit? You rebid it to any other contractor. So if you have 10 contractors that submit and the first phase, only one
so the quality is like really random all over because now you're not getting you're giving people jobs definitely, but you just don't know the quality of the work. Well, that's kind of what I'm getting.
Saying that, but I'm saying that code is the minimum requirement.
So you might have someone that's in the first group that goes, I'm going to go beyond because I really take pride in my job. Mm-hmm. And then you have the next 10, you have somebody that like, I always cut corners, and I can do this because it meets kind of the code a little bit here. So I'm going to take shortcuts. So you have 10 other houses that got shortcuts and the other 10 that don't. Yep. That's horrible.
But they're all in the same development. So,
that's bad. And so that name.
I'll give you a finish the example that I was trying to give. So the first phase is when they came in, they were looking at development very, very nice. They were trying to figure out whether or not, basically the model homes. They were trying to figure out whether or not they really wanted to move into development. Started talking to some of the contractors, and obviously contractors are going to want to try to upsell you, say, get XYZ, blah, blah, blah. And so this particular group or family decided that they were not going to go with this developer, right?
Right.
And probably a month and a half after they made that decision, they said that they were going to wait and finish out their lease. They had started second phase, and they saw that a lot of the things that were included as part of the first phase were no longer included as part of the second phase. So what happened was...
So you mean like free taxes for 5 years or something?
No, not that, but that's an abatement.
Oh, that's everybody.
But in their case, there was like grills in the window. There was a higher quality window that they were providing. There was more of more like upgrades or whatever.
It
was like upgrades, but they were standard.
Everything was like basic.
Yeah, but they were standard.
What I thought is that you could choose what you want.
You can still choose certain things, but as far as what's included, so like if you come in and just to say, hypothetically, they only have the hollow doors that they include. Well, in the first phase, because they want the best foot forward and get as many people in to pre-buy these houses, they might include those. They might include the solid doors. They might say just all natural wood because it looks nicer. It's a much cleaner.
So
wood.
Really, people want to get in on the first phase, is what you're saying? If it's a developer, you don't want to be that person that gets the second.
I'm not a developer. I'm not a flipper. All I can say is that in my experience and from what I've heard from people, typically the first phase is when they put their best foot forward.
That kind of sucks. So you would think they would do that the whole time,
Like I said, this is we're being unbiased. This is just based on communications that we have had. But we have also seen where contractors will go in and they will pass off projects as if it's for a customer, but it's not for a customer.